What's going on, guys? It's PokePond back with another video for you. Today we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into the singles market around about the new set Twilight Masquerade. We're going to have a bit of a discussion on value to see if it's worth picking up this set, either to crack or to hold as a long-term investment. I'm learning about singles as well, so join me on that journey. Subscribe down below to never miss an opportunity. Let's get into it. Okay, so there's a few things that I wanted to talk about today. Again, this is just going to be like another kind of bonus video midweek where I'm just going to look at like some sets and some cards and just do a little bit of thought behind it rather than my usual videos that come out weekly at the weekends where I'm really nailing down sort of like the prices of sealed product and what's moving each week. This is more just like casual chat, more sort of like speculative. Full disclaimer below, I'm not an expert on singles or slabs at all. My expertise is definitely in like sealed product, sealed booster boxes, etc. But I'm trying to like move into that market a little bit more and like educate myself, so these videos you can sort of like join me on my journey to learning more about singles. And I'm going to start like tracking prices of singles and slabs and stuff like that. Obviously I know the basics, so like obviously like when a new set comes out, singles are like really expensive, and then as more and more get pulled, the price comes down a little bit unless they're really hard to pull or really prestigious. And there's also like the race to like the first PSA 10 slabs, and the first ones that come out have a premium. I know all of that. I'm not an expert in like tracking singles long term, and like it's so much more of like a volatile market. I'm much more comfortable with like sealed product because I've been investing in sealed product for nearly 7 years now. So I've seen sort of like everything come and go. I could almost like predict the changes, which is what I do in my other videos. But this is more, like I said, just casual looking at what's going on. I just wanted to start off though by showing you guys this little bit of news. So China is actually releasing a Pokemon Go set, which kind of mirrors our Pokemon Go set that we had in English back a couple of years ago. However, they have some different artworks than what we have, and these are going to be China exclusives as well. So there may be a premium on it. I do think that that is definitely an investment avenue. Some people do definitely invest in buying Pokemon sets in different languages, and generally they're a little bit cheaper as well. But I just thought this was really interesting. This is one of the few times where there's a non-English set that has its own separate artworks that vary from the main set, and it may cause a premium, it may not, but maybe we'll start to see more of this trend going forward where different language sets sort of vary in artwork. It's just really interesting, so I wanted to show you the differences. So here's like the English Bulbasaur, and then I hate this when Amazon starts popping up ads, sorry. So this is the English Bulbasaur, and then this is the Chinese one. So it's going to be a little bit different in artwork, and I'll show you all the differences. Again, Chinese Ivysaur, and then that was R1 in Pokemon Go. I think some of them are like, there's not much change, but some of them are really, really nice. Like this Radiant Venusaur, I think looks so good. Maybe there will be a premium on this card, maybe not. I just wanted to make you guys aware of this. And then R1 obviously looked like this to remind you. I think the Chinese one looks a lot better, personally. But yeah, there's quite a few cards that are different. I'll just scroll through them very quickly, starting with the Chinese and then what R1 looks like. The Charizard looks completely different as well, more sort of like a illustrated version, whereas we had more of a CGI version sort of over the city. Let me know if you like any of these cards, if you're going to try and cop them on the old eBay or the international markets. Slightly different. Slowbro, Rattata looks a little bit different. I don't know. It's an interesting direction that things are going. This Radiant Eevee, this was R1, and their one is again a little bit more sort of illustrated driven. And maybe you don't like these sort of, I'm going to call them alt arts because they are essentially art, alternative arts to what we had in our English set. Maybe you don't like these, but this could be the start of something big. Like, their artwork could come a long way, and you could end up getting different language sets that just have like insane alt arts compared to the English. Just something to keep an eye on. And if I hear anything more about other sets that this is happening to, obviously I'll keep you updated with all of that. And then they also have like lots of the same cards as well. So it's just these sort of 14, 15 that are different. Just wanted to show you those. The new promo's been released as well from the Pokemon Play. So basically, there's an event each year in Honolulu, which is where the World Championships are happening this year, which is sort of like everyone battling with Pokemon cards, and all of the entrants will get this exclusive Pikachu promo card this year. So that's been unveiled. Each year there's sort of like a different promo card, and they do command a massive premium just because there's such a limited supply. The only way you can get this is if you attend the event. Again, if you guys are into sort of your really obscure singles, or either for investment or for your own collection, then potentially this is something you might try and pick up if there even are any available on the market. You'll probably have to keep your eyes peeled. I would imagine the best time to pick this card up is like right after the event, because there's probably going to be the most amount of people selling them. I don't really know. Like I said, I'm not an expert on singles. I'm bringing you guys the news. Don't know why I had Obsidian Flames loaded up there. Yeah, I've just been doing like a deep dive, sort of like all of this morning, the last couple of hours. I've just been looking around at different sets and prices and stuff like that. And today I wanted to look at Twilight Masquerade, because Twilight Masquerade has been out for a little while now. So it released nearly a month ago now. What are we up to now? About 3 weeks ago now. And like I said, I want to educate myself as well about what's going on with like singles prices and whatnot. So before it came out, I made the prediction that this Eevee card was going to be quite expensive, this illustration rare. And this is Pokedata, and it's looking at US prices for Twilight Masquerade, and it's putting them in most expensive order. So starting off with the Greninja EX, there's no surprises there, because this is a special illustration rare, and apparently it's just impossible to pull. Like, people are opening 1,000 packs at a time and still not pulling this Greninja. I mean, you'd have to be unlucky to not pull it from 1,000 packs, but that's just how the figures are, and that's obviously causing a little bit of a premium on the price. And I just wanted to look at these sort of like top few cards and how they're performing, just to like get a gauge on the set, because I've bought quite heavily into sealed booster boxes of Twilight Masquerade, and I've been very transparent on that on the channel. I sold quite a lot of Evolving Skies. The reason why I did that is because I could basically get like one case of Twilight Masquerade for each Evolving Skies booster box I sold, and that just seemed like a really good deal to me. And I really like the Twilight Masquerade set. There's loads of hits in it. We could have a quick look at some of the hits. These are all the special illustration rares. Again, these masks didn't really hit off as well as I think they wanted them to hit off, but obviously the Greninja is doing really well. And then you've got full art supporters, you've got special illustration rare supporters, and then you've got all these illustration rares and full arts, and there's just so much good artwork in this set, and I really don't think people will properly appreciate this set until it has started to go out of print run in about 2.5 years time. I just think this is such an undervalued set. The fact that you can pick this up for well below retail still now, I just think is absolutely crazy. So I'm just stacking it in my collection. Now, something to bear in mind that happens with sealed product, and I can speak on this because I do class myself as quite experienced with sealed product, is the price of singles can affect the price of sealed. It can positively increase the price of sealed. However, the price of sealed is not dependent the other way on the price of the singles. There's other factors as well that influence the price of sealed. So strong single prices positively impact sealed. Price of sealed is not solely determined on price of singles, though. That's something to really bear in mind. But it's good for us to keep an eye on these things. So the Greninja is most expensive at the moment, according to Pokedata, $131 at the moment, and it is a special illustration rare, as we said. Next is Carmine and Perrin. Carmine is a special illustration rare supporter as well, so again, quite hard to pull. $100 apparently. And Perrin, I think Perrin is special illustration rare supporter as well. She is, right. So these are your special illustration rare supporters, and these are your normal special illustration rares. Now what's really interesting, which I didn't really pay much attention to before, is the Eevee card that I said would do quite well isn't a special illustration rare. It's just an illustration rare. Now what does that mean? Now I'm not sure, because I'm not an expert on this and I haven't actually opened up any Ultra Modern at all. But as far as I'm aware, illustration rares are easier to pull than special illustration rares. Am I right in thinking that? I don't know. I think you're more likely to get an illustration rare seeded in your box, but because there's more illustration rares that could be in that seat slot, then you're less likely to pull the Eevee? I don't know. I'm not quite sure how it works. Please comment down below and help educate me on this, because as you can see, I'm quite old, and all this new classification of like ultra modern with like this special illustration rares and illustration rares, I don't quite know what the pull rates are like on that. All I know is everyone is moaning that Greninja is really hard to pull, which would make sense because he's an SIR, not an IR. So yeah, really interesting that the Eevee is the first one in the list value wise that isn't a special. So these four are all special illustration rares, whereas the Eevee is not. Also, as well, I'd just like to add, so these masks aren't doing very well. You've got the teal special illustration rare for 40, and then you've got the Wellspring, the blue one, which I think actually looks better, for 25. That may be because this is more playable, I don't know. And then you've got the two other special illustration rare supporters here. For 40 and 32, and then look, these gold cards down here, $17, $14. Like, it's just so cheap. This Sinistat, is it Sinistasha? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Is again a special illustration rare, and he's only going for 19. I'm not a big fan of the artwork, to be honest. Like, it's a bit meh to me, but just thought all of this was quite interesting to do a bit of a deep dive in. And then as we go down the list as well, I really like this card, and it's going for so cheap. So this Froslass is a illustration rare, so probably not too hard to pull, but it is still a hit in a box. You would be happy if you pulled this, and it's going for so cheap. Look, eBay $4.90, TCG Player $4.36, and I think personally, in my own opinion, this is one of the best looking cards in the set. I am such a big fan of these really like moody, sort of like dark looking cards. I think the Lugia V from which is the chase from, what is it, Silver Tempest, I think that is on that same theme of like the moody cards that I just really like. And I'm a big fan of sort of all these kind of like dark Pokemon. Like, I'm a big fan of like, obviously, like your Gengars and stuff like that, your Haunters. By the way, I think they're missing a trick. I think for Halloween, this trick and trades booster pack things, I think they should make like some real crazy alt art chases, like 1 in 1,000 packs, do like a crazy Gengar or like a crazy Haunter or Ghastly or something like that. I think they're missing a trick with that. I think that they would be so popular if they did that, but I understand why they're doing that and making it so that it's like an easy to pull set, because it's to like get kids involved. But if they actually did do like a Halloween themed set where there were crazy chase cards, I think they would do really well. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. I really like that Froslass. Let's have a look at some of these in like English and just see what they actually are selling for, and we'll just do a little bit of a deep dive on the set. So the Greninja, let's start off with them. The Greninja, the cheapest you can buy on UK eBay at the moment on a buy it now is $164.99. And what did they say on here? About $130. So that actually works out about right for like the conversion rate of dollars to pounds. And then sold. This is what I'm finding really interesting, and I'm trying to educate myself on. Like, sold single prices are all over the place. Like, it's so volatile. It's so interesting to see. I get it, like the set's not been out for that long, but still, prices are all over the place. So I'm on recent solds in the UK. So we've got like last sold was yesterday, £165 buy it now. Okay, fine. £155. On auction, it went for 124, 125 when you add in postage. 145 best offer, 160 best offer. Someone's managed to grade one with Ace. Ace, if you don't know, is like a UK grading company. There's another Pokemon YouTuber who's involved with the ownership, who is PokeRand. Big ups to Randy. Big fan of his channel. Been watching it for a long time. I do think you'll see more Ace going across the pond soon. Cool little company. 106 best offer. Like, there's such a range in prices. Like, that's already like a what, like 50% difference in like 2 days worth of sales. So volatile, really interesting. I think whoever picked this up for 106 on a best offer got a really good deal. Maybe there's damage to it. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into it. And this is the risk with like buying singles. This is why I don't buy singles, because you run the risk of like there being damage to it. And also as well, I don't trust myself to like store it properly. Like, I know how to store sealed product to keep it nice. I don't know how to store singles to keep it nice. I'd be worried that it would like, you know, with like some singles, they like start to like bend over time. There's probably a way to straighten them out. I just don't know the way, and I don't know, I just feel uncomfortable keeping singles. I just think it's interesting to track them. I am starting to move a little bit more into slabs and picking up some more slabs from like Sword and Shield era, End of Sun and Moon era, just because I feel comfortable with like PSA 10 slabs. I like them, they're already protected. I'm personally not going to mess them up by having them in my collection, and I have been buying some more slabs recently. Actually, I took a little trip down to one of my new local card shops, new one that opened up a couple of months ago. Shout out to those guys if you're listening. Yeah, picked up a couple of slabs. I traded in some old sealed product that I didn't want in my collection anymore. So Twilight Masquerade, price-wise, you can pick up a half booster box now for 50 quid, which is actually a pretty good deal. That's about 33% under retail price, because retail price is like 146 from Pokemon Center. Again, you can pick these up. I don't think you'll get much better than 50 quid on the half booster, and you can get a full booster for... That one there's the cheapest on eBay, buy it now for like 108. I do think you can pick it up cheaper elsewhere. You could probably get one for like 100 quid elsewhere, but they are selling out fast because people do really like Twilight Masquerade. If you're going to keep this as sealed, bear in mind that this is ultra modern, so there's a good chance it will get reprinted. But I think the word reprint is just like bashed around way too much in especially like the sealed collecting market. Like, if you're buying it for like 33% below retail, like a reprint isn't going to hurt you. Like, it's really not. All a reprint's going to do is drop the price maybe a couple of pounds. You're already at the bottom price of the booster box. Reprints only really affect sealed when like the set's like at right at the end of its printing window, so when it's like 2 years after release and you're already seeing that like price creep up, so like price is already like 80-90% above retail, that's when a reprint can really hurt the set and it will go closer back down to where that retail price is. But to be honest, if you're buying in ultra modern already way below retail, a reprint's not going to hurt you. The only thing it's going to do is just mean that your investment is potentially going to take a little bit longer before it starts creeping up in price above retail. But then again, like I say this all the time on the channel, if you're going to buy sealed for investment, you need to have in the mindset that you might be sat on this for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I've even sat on some sets for 5 years before I've started to see some significant growth in them. So something to be aware of. So you can pick up a booster round about 100 quid, and the top chase card is going for what, 160, 150ish average on a buy it now. So you do make more money if you pull the top hit, but it's just interesting to see. So this is why I'm doing the deep dive. Wanted to have a look at the Eevee card as well, because I personally think that the Eevee card is undervalued. I don't know how easy it is to pull because it's not a special illustration rare, but this is something that I will be looking at picking up probably in about 6 to 8 months time. Once all the PSA 10s start coming back and flooding the market, I would much rather pick this up as a sealed slab personally for my collection. I don't really collect singles. There's definitely plays to be made, I just don't know enough about them to be honest. How ridiculous is this artwork, by the way? This Tag Team GX Japanese card. That is the most ridiculous Eevee artwork that's potentially out there in the hobby. Anyway, getting sidetracked. The cheapest Eevee illustration rare from Twilight Masquerade at the moment is $41.99. I really don't know what's going to go on with prices on this card because it's a desirable card, but it looks like everyone is dumping them, so maybe it is quite easy to pull. If you're going to get this as a single, now might be the best time to buy it. I don't know, maybe you wait another couple of weeks, maybe it drops down because everyone's, you know, just racing to the bottom trying to get rid of this. I really don't know. Educate me down below what you guys think is going to happen to this Eevee card. They're selling though. So $37.90 is the last sale. Someone got one for £32 on a best offer accepted, which again I think is quite a good deal. Let's have a look at some of the other recent sales. So 35, 36, 34. So we've kind of agreed a market price here in the UK around about £35. People are happy to buy them for, which is pretty interesting. Now let's have a look at the Froslass, because I really like this card. I might actually pick it up as a single. I'm not a singles guy, but this is just so cheap at the moment, and I don't know how many people will actually be grading them. For £5, I can't really go wrong, can I? Maybe I'll pick up a couple, and then if one of mine goes a little bit wrong, then I've got a separate one. But 2 for £10, that's really, really not that bad. I think this is an undervalued card. I'm happy to buy this, not even as an investment. Like, I'm happy to buy this just to have this in my collection. Like, a little bit damaged down there, bottom right hand corner. I see you. Yeah, like for £5, $4.70 on a buy it now. Like, I really like it. It's a cool card. Should I do it, guys? Should I actually just start collecting singles and just start buying all these like cheap moody cards that I like? Do a little moody binder. Oh, and like I know nothing about singles, right? So obviously sleeve it, top loaders, know about all of that, yeah. How do you guys store your singles? That's what I want to know. Like, how can I store this to keep this nice? Obviously I know I can keep it in a top loader, but like, what are the best binders for keeping singles nice? Because I don't want any like bending or anything. And do you double sleeve it? Do you get like a real tight penny sleeve and then like a bigger one on top, or like what kind of sleeve should I use? Because I think I'm going to buy this Froslass card right here because I really like it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy this Froslass card. Anyway, that you can see them selling here for £5. Educate me down below. What binder do I need to buy so that I can display my single but it's going to look after it, and what kind of sleeves do I have to put it in before it goes in that binder? Please let me know. Help me. Let's have a look at these trainers, these special illustration rare trainers in the set. So we got the Carmine in second place, going for $100. I think these are overvalued. Now I get it. There's a lot of people that collect these sort of full art trainer cards, but I think they do much better in Japanese sets. I think the Japanese market is more about the waifus than we are. I think the market is overinflated, personally, because the Japanese ones do so well and they're so popular over there. I get there's a lot of collectors of these full art trainers, but I just don't think the market is big enough in NA and EU to justify these two being in slots 2 and 3. Like, I get it, the pull rates, they're harder because they're special illustration rares. I get that, that's why they're up there. But I think as time goes on, the demand for these two cards just isn't going to be there. Like, they still might be 2 and 3 in the set, but I just think they're overpriced for what they are. Like, I just don't see the demand unless they're playable. Again, I don't know what's playable in the meta. Let's have a look at prices then. So cheapest on eBay at the moment is 90 quid. For one, and then it's to £100, and they're actually selling for £82, 75 best offer selected. Someone's got an ace one graded in a 9 that sold for 105, £70. Do you see what I mean? Like, they're already like lower than the US prices. Like, over here in the UK, you're already seeing that lower price than what's over in the US. I think these cards are going to dip in value. I think they're being overinflated by their difficulty to pull and potential playability, but I don't know that. I don't know how playable they are, but maybe that's what it is. Let's have a look at the other one, the Perrin. I actually like the other half of this card, like the Growlithe, which is what she's taking the photo of. £64. Like, that's so cheap compared to the American market. Oh no, American market is $75. Okay, I thought it was 100. So it's about the same. But again, like, I just don't see the demand being there long term. 63, 64. Like, everyone just seems to be dumping these by the looks of it. Let's see, sold prices 62.99, 70. One sold here for 50 just 2 days ago. That's what I mean. 45, even less, 3 days ago. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the support cards. But yeah, that's a kind of look at like the top main cards. There's also this Blood Moon card. The how do you say it? Ursaluna? I hope I've said that right. That's also up there as well. £50. I think the Eevee's so nice though. So those are all special illustration rares, those top four. But the Eevee is up there strong as the highest valued illustration rare. I think the Eevee's undervalued. I think that everyone's just dumping it now to get a little bit of money back. But I think the Eevee card is great. I'd definitely look at picking that up in a PSA 10 once those come and get graded. Me personally, look at this. We have to come right down in the price until we get to my favourite card of the set. And this is just me personally. But look, that Froslass card is so damn cool. I love it. I hope that this this video doesn't pump Froslass. I don't think I've got enough reach to do that personally, but I'm going to buy one out now just in case this video does pump up the price a little bit, just so, not even to sell or to invest, just because I want one for me. So I'm going to pick one up for around about £5. I just like the card. It's so moody and just so dark. I love it. Anyway, please let me know down below the best way for me to store this in a binder. What binder do I need to buy? What sleeves do I need to buy to put it in that binder? Help a brother out. Hope you guys enjoyed this slightly different video. Little bit of a deep dive into the Twilight Masquerade singles market, and we talked a little bit as well about some of these Chinese Pokemon Go exclusive cards coming out and the New Worlds promo card. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe down below to keep up to date with all the news and all of my price tracking of booster boxes. The next video will come out at the weekend and we'll be back to usual with our sealed product pricing and tracking and analysis and all of that. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful day and peace.